and welcome to the tutorial video for the cello Sahara Crossing part by Sahara Crossing by Richard Meyer. Before we begin playing, I'd like to invite the camera over to talk about some of the details of the music. Now, if you notice, the majority of this song for cellos is played plucking the strings. It's played pizzicato. So when you start at the beginning, just note that it tells you that, and that you're only pizzicatoing pretty quietly. You do so for the first two measures alone with the bass, and sort of an introduction for everyone else. Now, times where you switch from pizzicato to arco, that is with the bow, measure 19, you're going to switch and play there. Right before at the end of measure 26, and these rests, I would take advantage of the rest to switch from using the bow to pizzicato again. And then right before measure 43, which in my music is cut off, but measure 43, you have two rests again, or three rests, to switch back to using the bow. And we finish out the piece also in pizzicato. Now, another important thing that you want to pay attention to is our roadmap. We're going to start, as most pieces do, from the beginning. We're going to play down all the way to measure 63, where you see DS al coda. The DS is telling us go back to the sign del segno, and that sign is going to be at measure 27. Now this is the second chunk. We're going to play 27 right down to the end of measure 40, and from 40 we're going to find our way down to 64 and play the coda, right? Two coda, there's the coda, and finish out the song in those last line in a measure. Now, a couple of note considerations that you're going to want to practice. The first one that comes up is B flat on the G string, and this B flat is played with the second finger instead of a third finger, which would be B natural. The little B next to it, the flat symbol, tells us that. This happens again at 22, and I think we only have it at 22, and then also 34. We also have a B flat on the A string, which you can find here in measure 43. A string, we're going to put our first finger back for that B flat. Now, I kind of want to show you what this looks like on the instrument from both those places. Our B normally on the G string, B natural would be three fingers on the G string, but the flat is telling us to lower that note, that accent note is telling us to lower it, and so I'm going to play a second finger, and you can hear probably that it sounds lower. Now the same thing is going to happen on the A string where we play B natural. It's telling us, no, play B flat, so slide your first finger back down to play B flat, and I think you can hear the difference. Now, watch out, in measure 46, you play A, B flat, and then you have a C sharp, so you're going to want to stretch up to get that C sharp with three fingers and play the D. The really tricky part is just this stretch there, so you want to watch out so you don't end up playing. Right, so this gives us different notes. That would give us B flat, C natural, and C sharp, which we don't want. So just watch out for that in measures 46. Aside from that, the only other thing you'll see starting in measure 19, we have what's called double stops, where it's telling you to play two strings on purpose at the same time. And we go in 19, we played the D and the A strings together. And then in measure 20, we do the same thing for a half note, but then we play D and the G string together, and we go back and repeat measure 19 right in measure 20. So just a couple of things to watch out for. There's one more thing before I let you play along with me. In measure 62, you'll see plus sign underneath the pizzicato. This plus sign is not telling you to do some addition and add a measure in the middle there. It's actually telling you to pizzicato with your left hand for this first note, and then because you're switching from the bow and it's an open string, so you're going to pizz with the left hand that first note, and then your right hand you can continue pizzicato. So watch out for that too. It's a little bit tricky. Now that we've taken into consideration some of the details of this piece, I'd like to go ahead and play it, and I'd love for you to join me for your practice. 1, 2, and ready, go. Low C, 3, 4,